What's going on, guys? It's morning time. I'm home until about 1 o'clock, and then I'm gonna head over to the dealership. Start late today. When you work at the dealership, you usually have either an early shift or a late shift for the people in the sales department. So today I'm on the late shift, so I'm home early in the morning today. Gonna enjoy this coffee that we just made, and then we're gonna get back to the video. Really good. But then we're gonna get to the video. Topic at hand: 5 things that you can do to make your car buying experience a little bit easier for you. Not talking about getting the best deal or anything like that. Just make it a little bit more smooth for you, so that you don't. I know a lot of people complain that going into the dealership is a very frustrating experience for them. This is probably the best. These tips will help alleviate some of that pain that you feel when you go into the dealership. So number 1 is make sure that you go to the dealership with enough time. I can't tell you how many people go in there, and they only have 20 minutes. And that's just gonna be frustrating for you. You're not gonna get what you wanna have accomplished done. Just go in there when you have enough time. Don't be in a rush. A car deal usually takes about an hour and a half from beginning to end, financing, everything like that. So just make sure you have enough time. Don't frustrate yourself rushing the whole time. It's not gonna be fun for you, and it's not gonna be fun for anyone involved. Just make sure you have enough time. Next one is negotiating before you're ready to buy the car. Now, yes, salespeople generally have an idea on new cars. Used cars is something a little bit different, but on new cars, most salespeople generally have an idea of where the car will sell at. And most of the time, they'll kind of do this technique called coming off the numbers to try to give you an idea of where that would be at. But when you start asking very specific questions like, can you do this deal at? And would you throw in this? And then the salesperson can ask you very point blank, if we do that today, can we make a deal? And you say no, then we're not really talking about anything. We're not talking about business. And with all due respect, you're not a serious buyer. So why would I answer that? It doesn't make any sense. If you want to negotiate, be ready to buy the car. That's the chip that you as a buyer have, is that you have the power that you're going to buy the car. But if you're taking that away, then you don't really have anything. So that's my tip. When you're ready to negotiate, if you want to negotiate, be ready to buy the car. So this next tip is going to help with the timing and your overall experience and everything like that. The next tip is to make an appointment before you go into the dealership. So if you know someone who gives you a referral, or if you look online and you see salespeople with a lot of reviews, or if you go online and you look through all the salespeople on their directory and there's one that sticks out to you that you want to work with, email that person, set up a time to meet and talk about the car. It'll be a much easier experience for you. The car that you will be looking at will be ready when you get there. You'll have the person available. They'll know what you're trying to accomplish that day. It'll make your experience a lot easier. And that's one of the biggest tips, I think, in this video, is setting an appointment beforehand. So this next one is pretty simple. You would think that more people would know this naturally, but if you're trading in a car, you should bring that car with you. Now, I don't know a dealership out there that doesn't take trade-ins. I don't know a dealership out there that at any time you can't bring the car into the trade-in. And they'll always have someone that is ready to appraise the car. If you are going into the dealership and you have any thought at all about trading in the car, then you should bring that car with you. It makes it a little bit easier. You're not going home and then coming back and drawing out the process to the point where it doesn't need to be that way. Even if you're thinking about selling it privately, I think it's still a good idea to bring it in and get it appraised value, because a lot of times, if people don't realize this, is when you factor in the tax saving on your trade-ins. Say in Ontario, it's 13%, right? So if I give you 10,000, you could have private sold it for 12,000. My 10,000 is actually like 11,300. So we're pretty close usually, when you factor in that the fact that you're saving the taxes on it. So I would say bring your trade in, even if you're thinking of selling it privately, just bring the trade in, let them take a look at it. There's no harm in that. You could just say no if you want them to buy. And the last one is kind of an ongoing one. So the last one is to develop a relationship with your selling dealer. So I know a lot of people don't see this at first, but what a lot of dealerships actually have is like a goodwill to the service customers. So things go wrong, something might not technically be covered under warranty. A lot of manufacturers, especially Acura, set aside money for us to take care of some of those customers, especially customers that service with us all the time, buy with us all the time, to help make their experience a little bit better. But the fact of the matter is that if you are coming into the dealership once just to buy the car and we never see you again until 6-7 years later when you go to replace it again, then that's a little bit different. And I know as well, dealerships in the sales department want to take care of customers who will always service with them and buy cars from them. That will make your experience a lot easier too. You have a lot of familiar faces in there. I know there's a lot of customers at our dealership who bought multiple cars. Some have bought multiple cars from me in a year, and their experience is always great because they know exactly what they're getting. We take care of them, and it makes the transaction super smooth. So that's it for my 5 tips. To recap, the 5 tips I have for making your car buying experience as smooth as possible. The first one, go to the dealership with enough time. Don't go there expecting everything within 20 minutes. Be realistic with the amount of time you're setting aside. If you're in a huge rush, probably don't go to the dealership. Second one is not negotiating before you're ready to negotiate. So what does that mean? Don't start trying to backing the salesperson into a corner, asking him, can you do this, can you do this, can you do this, but you're not ready to buy the car. It's not going to be good for him. It's not going to be good for you because you're not going to get the answer you want. He's going to feel uncomfortable because you're basically asking him, you're saying you're not going to buy the car, but you still want to know if you can go do this. So I would say don't do that. So the third one is to make an appointment. So whether that be that you have your salesperson there, you go online, you look, whatever, set an appointment. That way you're able to have them expecting you there, and it makes your experience a lot smoother because they already know, they're briefed on the situation, everything like that. Again, recapping, the fourth one is just going into the dealership with your trade-in. If you're gonna bring a trade, bring the trade every time. Don't leave it at home and then have to go back and then come back. Just bring the trade in. It makes it so much simpler. And the last and final one, again, kind of like an obvious one, but developing a good relationship with your dealership makes it a lot easier. I know a lot of you are going to say there's not a lot of good dealerships out there, but I would counter and say now's the safest time to buy a car that it's ever been. So if you find a dealership that treats you well and services well, developing a relationship with you in the long run will save you some money, definitely in the service department, and make your experience a lot better. That was my 5 tips to making your car buying experience a little bit smoother, a little bit easier, not as painful as a lot of people like to say. That's coming from a salesperson myself. So if you did like the video, please give it a like. If you want to see more content, I have a lot of different content. Please hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment if you have anything you want to add. Please don't kill me in the comment section. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching.